Hello children, so we're going to write our letter today, and this is for our time capsule, which we'll send to the future. Now our first chunk of our letter is opening the letter. And this basically means how we're going to start our letter, how we're going to talk to our reader in the future and tell them what's been happening here. Now in this opening the letter chunk, I've got two targets for you. And the first one is going to be to write a complex sentence. Now don't worry too much if you're not sure what one of those is. I've got three examples that will help you to be able to write one. So you could write a sentence starting with after. For example, after the coronavirus outbreak, we found ourselves in lockdown. Another example would be to use following. So for example, following the outbreak of coronavirus across the world, we were in lockdown. And also once the COVID-19 spread across the globe, we found ourselves in lockdown. And our second target, which will help with the rhythm in our writing, is to use alliteration. So we're going to sneak in some sounds that repeat themselves from one word to the next. We're just going to do this subtly, not over the top. It's not a poem, what we're writing a letter. So we're just going to do this in a very subtle way, just to add a little bit of rhythm to our writing. Now, because this letter isn't going to be sent anywhere, and because we don't know who's going to read it in the future, it's going to be somebody in the future, isn't it, that finds our letter, I'm not going to write their address because I don't know it. And in fact, because I'm putting this video online, children, for you to see, I'm not going to put any addresses on my letter anyway, because I don't want to put my personal details or our personal details for everyone to see. So we've got to be really careful whenever we do anything online, don't we? So I'm going to start this letter off simply with the date. So I'm going to put the date towards one side. Now you don't have to put it towards the right side. You could put it to the side where you normally start from, but I've just put it here just to space out my letter. Hopefully it'll make it look nice and neat. So Tuesday, the 12th of May, 2020. Now I'm going to start this letter off by writing dear, and I don't know the person that's going to be reading it, do I? So I might just put dear future reader, maybe. Dear reader, dear future reader. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. Dear future reader. I'm trying really hard with my handwriting here. And with my reader, make sure I've got my finger space. And I'm going to put, because a comma after reader. So we do that like dear future reader, comma, dear Mr. Hicks, comma, dear Miss Staddon, comma. When we write a letter, we put a comma after the person we're addressing it to. And onto my next line, I'm going to say the reason why I'm writing. Because when you write a letter to someone, the first thing you should really say is why you're writing. What's the point behind the letter? And we're writing, why are we writing? Well, we're writing to share our experience of lockdown, aren't we, with the future reader. So I am writing to you to share my experience of lockdown. I am writing to you to share what life is like, maybe. Yeah, I'm writing to you to share what life has been like. Writing to you to share what life has been like during the... Now am I going to write the coronavirus? Maybe I could put an adjective before coronavirus. What's the coronavirus like? It's really bad, isn't it? During the bad coronavirus. I'm writing to you to share what life has been like during the bad coronavirus. I'm going to jot down some ideas now, so I'm going to write the word bad. And maybe I can think of some other words that can describe the coronavirus. So the bad coronavirus, the cruel coronavirus. I like that one. The horrific coronavirus. The harmful coronavirus. It is harmful, isn't it? And the nasty coronavirus. That's a nice one. And maybe the horrendous coronavirus. I've noticed got quite a few that start with a sound, and that'll be helpful for our alliteration target. Coronavirus. I think I'm going to go for cruel coronavirus. So I'm writing to you to share what life has been like during the cruel coronavirus. Because that's alliteration, isn't it? Cruel coronavirus. Cruel coronavirus pandemic. So yeah, it's all over the world, isn't it? It's affecting the whole world. So it's a pandemic in 2020. Full stop at the end of my sentence. So I'm going to try and use one of my targets now, the complex sentence. I've got my alliteration in there with cruel coronavirus, and I'm going to use a complex sentence. I'm going to use after. So after an outbreak of coronavirus. So I'm going to write that. So after an... Actually, not sure about coronavirus. Maybe it might be better here to change the word. So after an outbreak of COVID-19, which is the specific type of coronavirus. So after an outbreak of COVID-19, yes, that sounds better. And now I'm just going to add some detail to describe what COVID-19 is. So I'm going to use my horrible words to help me describe what it is. So is it a harmful virus? Is it a horrific virus? Horrendous? I'm going to go for harmful, horrific, or horrific, harmful. Horrific, harmful. So after an outbreak of COVID-19, a horrific, harmful virus that has spread across the world, that has spread across the globe, that has spread across the globe. Spread across the globe. I'm going to put a comma now. So reading that back down. So after an outbreak of COVID-19, a horrific, harmful virus that spread across the globe, we find ourselves in lockdown. Full stop. There again, that's our complex sentence there. I'm just going to write one more sentence explaining what it means to me. So this means, I'm just going to start a new line. So I'm going to get another piece of paper. This means the shops are shut. Shh. I like that. Shh and shh. This means the shops are shut. There's alliteration again. This means the shops are shut and I'm staying safe. Staying, and you've got stay and safe. I am staying safe at home with my family. This means the shops are shut and I'm staying safe at home with my family. So I've written the first chunk. I've written the introduction to my letter, explaining why I'm writing and also giving a very brief description of what's happening. I've used a complex sentence and I've also used alliteration just to give my writing a little bit of rhythm. So I'm going to read that back to myself now. So, dear future reader, I'm writing to you to share what life has been like during the cruel coronavirus pandemic in 2020. After an outbreak of COVID-19, a horrific, harmful virus that has spread across the globe, we find ourselves in lockdown. This means that the shops are shut and I'm staying safe at home with my family. I'd like you to go ahead now and write the first chunk of your letter. Think about how to explain to the reader why you're writing to them. Explain briefly what's happening to us and what's happening in your life right now. And try and see if you can get a complex sentence in as well as some alliteration. Good luck, and I will share your work on Class Dojo. See you later then. Bye bye.